What's up y'all, welcome back to my channel. So first off, I'm taking the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum from Danessa Myricks Beauty, but today is going to be a lesbian flag, inspired pride look. I was supposed to get this out yesterday. This is the Essence Fist and Last Gripping Primer. I just, I didn't finish like taking a picture and all that stuff till like literally like 4 o'clock, and I started at 10 something. I was doing stuff, while I was doing this look, but yeah, it was a lot going on. I took that Got To Be, brush it through my brows. Now I'm taking the Infinite Chrome Flakes from Danessa Myricks Beauty in the shade Laser Beam. I don't know what made me do this, but I was like, okay, I had been trying to figure out what brow I was gonna do, and then I was like, okay, maybe blue brows, but I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, so yeah, I actually genuinely liked how it looked. Like, I feel like it added to the look. And then tell me why my fan went dead while I was doing this look, so I can use it after this. But I'm taking my thread, cover it in 7 to clean up my brows. But anyways, this look is also inspired by the Fuck Bitches Get Money collab I did with POET22 for a t-shirt design. So speaking of POET22, she just dropped an EP last Friday, and it's called Misadventures of a Romantic. Y'all should definitely go check it out because the EP eats. And I'm taking the Slay Ready Cosmetics Nefertiti base. So the Misadventures of a Romantic, EP, it has 4 songs on there. And my favorite is No Face, No Case Interlude. My second favorite is Quality Time. My third favorite is Love You for Life. And my fourth favorite is Time Zones. And I just love the project. Like, she has such an amazing voice, and I'm just like so happy for her, and I can't wait for her to release more music and just pop off. Like, this is her season. But anyways, let's get back to the look. So I'm taking the Danessa Myricks Beauty Colorfix in Lift, and I'm adding this to my eyes even though I primed it already, but I knew I wanted to do like this white eyeshadow at the start of my eyes, or like the inner corner area. And when it comes to certain products, like certain eyeshadows, like especially if you have deeper skin, sometimes they're a little bit harder get that pigment to really just pop out. So this is why I added that Lift base first, and I'm literally going in with my Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette, and I'm packing this shit on. Like, I put so much on because I needed it to be white. I needed it to look white, so that's why I literally spent so long doing this. Also, side note, I am shocked that I even got this look down to 27 minutes, because when I tell you I had over 2 hours and 30 minutes worth of footage, and this look took forever, but I absolutely love it. And I'm taking this neon pigment from Jelly Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Azalea. And yeah, and then I went in with the Beauty Bay palette because I wanted to kind of add some more depth in between the white and then this hot pink. And I took the Stone palette and I took Hollow Ghost on the white, and then I ended up changing my mind and adding more of the Danessa Myricks Beauty Love Is Love palette. I took that white, which is Ally, but you see me right here, I think I'm taking Wordy, and it's this orangish pink shade, and I added it to the pink just to make it pop a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So now you see me taking Ally and just adding it to the white. And side note, I didn't mention this earlier, but I used the neon prismatic pigment in Orally for the pinkish orange side. I just want to let y'all know. And I'm taking some of that Manic Gems lash glue, and I just tapped it on with my finger, and I'm adding Polaris right here to the white part. And then for the pinkish orange parts, I'm taking the shade Kamiko in the Cosmic Glitter from Jelly Cosmetics. I'm just doing the same process, tapping on some glue and just adding the glitter on top of it. So after I did this, I was like, I want to add some type of liner to this. So I was trying to make it look like a heart shape, and I took Valentine, Primary Red, and Blackout from Danessa Myricks Beauty, the Colorfixes, and I basically mixed them to make this I guess you would say burgundy kind of color. I really don't know how to describe it, but I basically just did this half heart-ish shape. But you'll see me later actually make it look like a heart. But yeah, I'm just doing this on both sides and trying to be careful because these do dry matte, but I didn't want to mess it up and look up or just blink and do crazy stuff and it get everywhere before it's dry. But it doesn't take too long to dry, and I really like the color fix because you can literally use it for everything. So this is what it looks like right at this moment, y'all. Up close, get into it. It's so sparkly. I just love glitter, honestly. I will add glitter every look if I can. But now I'm just taking my black liner and I'm just putting it on top of my lash line. Now you see me taking the Win Beauty Big Vision Focus Black Mascara, and I'm just coating my top lashes right now before I move on with my makeup. Now you see me taking my Made by Mitchell Bulk Balm in a BB17, and I'm taking this to basically like spot conceal because I'm going to go in with a True Tint in a TT16. But for me, like the True Tint, like it's a skin tint, so it's not as full coverage. So I feel like it helps when I use the Bulk Balm to like cover some of my like dark spots and stuff. For when I put my like True Tint on, like it actually covers like a decent amount, if that makes any sense. Like I knew like I didn't necessarily want like a heavy foundation since I was gonna have to like do a whole look in my like forehead. But honestly, looking back, I probably should have done the blurring balm powder just because it would have been matte, and then like I feel like the makeup took a very long time to finish, and I feel like I probably would have gotten a better like overall like finish with my base if I used the blurring balm powder from Danessa Myricks Beauty. But it's all good, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm taking my Thread Beauty Cover It in 7 just to like highlight those areas in my face. When it comes to highlighter, like I'm gonna do like a whole video about concealer and stuff, but you really have to highlight based on your like features of your face. Like I do this technique in like some of this stuff, like some areas where I highlight on my face, I didn't do this like years ago. So I feel like it just takes practice to understand what you like on your face. Like I don't do like hella light concealer because that's just not my vibe. But yeah, everyone is different. But you know, if y'all have any questions or want me to explain certain things about concealer, please let me know. But so now I'm just going back in with my foundation brush, and I'm just blending out where my concealer is and where my foundation is, just to make the transition a little bit smoother. And I'm going in with my Power Bronzer in Deep to basically contour my face. And yeah, I like this. Like it's probably like one of my favorite bronzers, and it actually is deep enough for my skin because baby, some folks when they be saying bronzer, I'm like, what's that gonna do? That's giving barely skin. Like, get it together. So once again, I'm taking my foundation brush just to like blend where like the bronzer is to make the transition a little bit smoother. And I'm taking the Beauty Crop Wheat Cherry setting spray, and I took this one just because I knew I was going to set my face multiple times throughout this look, so I wanted to add that hydrating setting spray first. And I'm taking the Danessa Myricks Beauty Evolution Powder in Deep Peach just to like add it on my highlighted like concealer areas. I like this powder. Like I feel like the Evolution powder eats. Like I was using like this one is 4, and at first this was the only one I had, but when she had that sale, I had to get the Deep Peach to, you know, set my face, and I truly honestly like it. I'm gonna do like a summer base routine sometime soon. Maybe I'll have it up this week or next. But I'm taking the Bronze Pod from Made by Mitchell, and this is in the shade Brandy Perfect. This honestly is not that deep on me, but I just use it whenever I like don't want like a dark bronze or like contour or whatever. But yeah, there's one more shade that's a little bit darker, but I just don't like the undertone of it honestly. And I went ahead and set my face, and I believe that was the Thread Beauty Prime and Set It. Then a little up close, and then get into the Colorfix collection, get into it. But I'm taking the Yummy Skin. This is the Blurring Balm Flush, and this is in the shade Golden Hour. I applied Golden Hour, which is that orangey blush, like first on my face because I knew I wanted to add this pink Primadonna, like, you know, just to tie in with like the pink and orange of like the lesbian flag. So I'm blending it. This shit is pigmented, baby. This shit is pigmented, but I absolutely love it. But just to, you know, take it down a little bit, I did take my face brush that I used to, you know, set my like foundation like base. And now I'm taking this Sunset, I think it's Sunset Makeup. This is their blue foundation. And first I went and just like cleaned up my brows. That way, you know, that will be like precise and I don't like mess them up. And then I just went ahead and like just applied some more so I could blend it out with a brush. So once I blended it out and made sure that it was pretty even, I went ahead and set this with my RCMA No Color Powder just to make sure like it doesn't like get crazy when I do this like makeup look, because I need it to be set and last. So I'm taking the Jelly Wing Cosmetics Neon, the Prismatic Pigment in Royal just to add some depth to the blue, because the blue is basically like the sky for the look. So I just want to add like a little bit more depth, and I'm just blending around my brows and the perimeter of my forehead. And then, you know, I'm just going back in with that RCMA like no color palette. I really didn't add any. I just like took what was left on the brush and did that. And I'm taking my Bright Matte palette from Beauty Bay, and I'm taking one of those blue shades just to blend the transition a little bit more. Now I set my face again because I need this to stay. You feel me? And I took that black shade from the Beauty Matte palette, the Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette, and I'm just going under my eye just to like smoke it out a little bit. And I'm taking, I think it's Phoebe, the neon prismatic pigment from Jelly Cosmetics, and I'm just blending out that black with this because I want to add like more like a pinkish shade underneath it. So that's why I went in with that. And then once I do that, like, oh, I wanted to add some more because I feel like I messed up in this one spot, so that's why you see me adding some more. And yeah, I'm just adding it on the other side too to make sure it's even. And that was Ally. And then I end up taking D from the Love is Love palette, and I'm taking that reddish like shimmer shade and then putting it underneath my eyes just to make it pop a little bit more like I did the top eyeshadow. And then when I'm done with my lower lash line, you already know I had to take the About phase. This is the Shadow Stick and Killer Lights, and I'm just going along like my waterline underneath my eye just to like make it look like a little bit like smoother in my opinion. Like, because if I didn't, like, you would see like basically my waterline would be like my skin tone, and I feel like, I don't know, it just looks better when I use this. And I'm taking, I think this is Wordy, the like pinkish orange like highlighter shade in the Love is Love palette. And then I ended up taking Freedom, which is like that like white like purple like pearlescent like shade. I'm just adding it on top because I just felt like I should just add them both. And I felt like both the colors, like the shimmers like in them, I feel like both of them went with like the colors in the Lesbian flag. So I was like, let me do this. But yeah, I'm just adding the highlighters to like my nose, a little bit above my mouth. And now I'm going back in with the bronze pie because I felt like I need to add a little bit more like bronze to like my nose. And then I highlighted my brow bone, which is what I always do. So to like finish like my base routine, I am taking that eyeliner I used on my upper lash line to basically just draw my moles back on. Now I'm taking the Black Opal Stay Today setting spray just to make sure my entire base is set really well before I get into like the actual look. So I put up the image on my phone, that way it'll be easier for me to like draw it because I have like the original like piece I did like kind of in front of me, but I feel like it would be like easier if I just pulled it up on my phone, that way I can see it a little bit better. And I'm just taking one of the blue shadows from the Bright Matte palette, and I'm using this like little like liner brush just to basically sketch out like my idea. So this is an up close look at the sketch. I just wanted to show y'all before I went in with the color fix to, you know, actually fill in the look. So for the face paint, the first thing I'm going to do is take this Danessa Myricks Beauty Colorfix in Lift, which is the white shade. And I'm basically filling in any areas that I feel like need the white. So the eyes, you know, have white in them. And then I also use this for like the hearts for a base because I wanted to make sure that the pink I was going to use really popped out, especially since I was using blue as a like, you know, sky base. Side note, if you're looking for like eyeshadow brushes or like eyeliner brushes to do looks like this, I suggest you can go to the beauty supply store and get like the nail art brushes. This one is from Glisten Cosmetics, and then you can always go to like Marshall's, TJ Maxx and stuff because they usually have like pretty good brushes, and you can usually find like some type of like eyeliner brush in one of the sets they have up there. Now that I'm done with the white base, side note, I let this dry for like a couple minutes before I went in with these, but I'm taking Valentine, which is that like hot pink color fix, and I'm taking Bunny to basically add the highlights and the hearts. And I do like a couple at a time just to make sure that they don't dry down before I get to the part where I need to add the like lighter color in the middle and actually blend it out with a different brush. So when I was doing the hearts on my face, I used two different brushes. I used one for like the hot pink shade and one for like the lighter pink shade. And I also used a clean brush to actually blend both the shades together. So this is a close-up of the hearts when I finish. I'm not gonna lie, I cut out so much footage. Like, there was so much footage of this look. And I'm just taking my makeup wipes just to clean off like those liner brushes, because I knew I had to go in and like do the rest of this look. So I just wiped them on this like wipe just to make sure that they were clean before I use different colors. And I'm just taking Valentine to basically like do the lips on she's gonna be the green girl. But yeah, I just also added Bunny to add like some more highlights and stuff to it. Now you see me taking this purple color fix, and this is Journey. Journey is like a cream like color fix. Like, there are different like basically formulas. A lot of the ones I use for this look are the matte ones, but this is one of the only creams I use. Actually, I use Magnetic later on, which is like this blue color. But when you're working with these color fixes, if you're trying to like blend stuff, I suggest, you know, doing like smaller areas at a time. That way like one of the shades doesn't like dry down like while you're trying to blend, because that's gonna be hell. But anyways, I made this like greenish shade, and yeah, I'm just doing this for like the base for the hair. I really take my time when I do these looks. Like, I take a lot of breaks and I look in the mirror, because I'm trying to make sure that like this actually looks how it's supposed to look, if that makes any sense. So when I make this green shade, I end up taking Matcha and Magnetic, and I just mix them together to get like this deeper like green shade, because Matcha was definitely way too light, and then Magnetic is a whole blue color. So yeah, the good thing about this look is that I use a lot of the like same colors for like different parts of this look. So I would just use up what was left on my palette to, you know, fill in different areas, and I added more if I truly honestly needed to make more of that color. So now you see me taking the color fix in the Blackout just to add this around like the perimeter of like the hair to make it like have more depth. I wanted to create shadows just to add more, you know, substance to the look. So here's another up close of the makeup look. I wanted to like let certain parts dry, and plus I needed a break because this took so long. But I'm taking Blackout and I'm taking Journey to make this like darker purple color for like the green girl's hair. And I'm just like outlining it first, like the areas that I actually want the hair to be, and then I just go ahead and fill it in after I outline it. So now I'm doing the same thing I did with the other hair. I'm just taking Blackout and just adding it to the perimeter, like the outline of the hair, just to create more depth and shadow. So now I'm taking the color fix in Valentine just to fill in her skin. For both of the girls, I end up having to do like 2 layers of the color, but I really don't mind because at least I don't have to set it with like eyeshadow, but I just really wanted to make it look opaque like compared to everything else. So that's why I did 2 layers. But yeah, I'm just filling it in and just trying to make sure that it's as neat as possible. But I'm going to outline everything anyway, so you'll see that later. So for the other girl's skin, it's like this like bright greenish like yellow color. So I mixed Matcha and I mixed Lemonade to get this like I don't even know if it's chartreuse. I was gonna say chartreuse, I don't know, but I just really need to make sure that this shade looked as similar as possible to like the illustration. I definitely want to pick up some more Colorfix, but they cost a little bit of money, but they are so worth it. Like, I would not have been able to do this look with so much ease or like simplicity if I used a different product. I definitely would have had to add so many layers for like each part, and then I would have had to set it with eyeshadow, and it just would have been way too much work. Like, this was already a lot of work, but I would have spent even longer trying to get it to look good. And the reason why I left that gap on like the pink girl's face is because like the green girl is basically like holding her face, so I need to like make sure that like her hand was going to look right. And I did everything like section by section, and the reason why I didn't do like the face first or the face after I did the eyes is because I honestly like to like fill in certain areas and then go to an area that's not necessarily touching that space. That way, if it's still wet, it doesn't get like muddled up in like a different color and then make some ugly ass color that I'm gonna have to fix later. But yeah, and then with her, like, I added some touch-ups to both of them just in areas that I felt like needed either more pigmentation or maybe like the area like wasn't what I really needed to be. I just did, you know, some fix-ups before I actually like did the outline. So now you see me taking the Colorfix in 24K, and I used this for her gold earring because I really wanted to actually make it gold. So yeah. And then for the other girl, I ended up taking like platinum to do her like lip piercing. But right now I was adding matcha around like her face just to add a little bit more depth because I felt like it just needed a little something extra. But I'm taking Xack, I believe, and I'm taking that Mending Gems glue. I put the glue on first, and I took Xack, that glitter, and I basically just patted on like more so in the middle of the heart. Like, I didn't cover the entire heart in glitter, but I felt like the hearts just needed like an extra little touch, so that's why I did the glitter. And then here's an up close. Yeah, get into it. We were so close to being done. Every time I finished a certain section, I was like, yes, we're almost done. But I made sure I set my face because I didn't want it to get messed up. And then I knew from my lashes, I wanted to add like this pop of pink. So for the pop of pink, I took the Color Couture lashes from I Envy in the shade Pink 3. And I added lash glue to like the bottom part of the lashes, like the part you'll see when I'm just like looking like and not like, you know, closing my eyes. And then I added like a strip to the bottom part, and I added a strip to the top part. And now I'm just taking this black eyeliner that I use to like line my lash line and like do my moles, and I just outlined every part of this, and it took a very long time, I will not lie. But I wanted to use this instead of the Colorfix, so I felt like this would be a lot easier to use, and like it's a thinner brush and stuff. This is not my favorite eyeliner. Like, it's not terrible, but I've had better black eyeliners. That's why I usually don't even tag it and stuff, because the entire set, like, it's okay, but like when I like took these off and I did the swatches, like they came off so easily. But I really want to get this like Essence liquid liner. That's the one I used before I got this one. I just keep forgetting to pick it up when I go to Ulta, so now I really have to go pick it up when I go to Ulta. But yeah, I just like lined like all the hearts, and I took them like section by section. I feel like that's key when you're doing like the like line work. And this is how I do like line work on like my actual like physical art too, but I don't do the whole thing in one like motion. Like, it takes me like a couple like, you know, swift motions to really get it like how I want to. But yeah, I was just taking my time and just, you know, trying not to make any mistakes, because I ain't feel like cleaning nothing up. I did not want to clean nothing up. But yeah, I'm just outlining everything, and I honestly love how the outline look. I feel like it would not have looked the same if I just like left it how it was before. It just makes it pop a little bit more. And I'm adding a lift Colorfix just as highlights. Like, this is what I do on like my regular art, but I didn't add all the highlights that were in the original image, because since this is a lot smaller, it was a lot harder to get like the white lines to look how I wanted. And I feel like I should have definitely had like a white liquid liner. I don't know why the TikTok set I bought like the black liner from does not have a white. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, I definitely need to go and get a white liner, because this was okay, but like as you can tell, it's not as smooth like as I want it to be. But I told you I was gonna finish this like heart design, so I decided to do this like towards the end of my makeup, because I was like, I'm gonna make it actually look like a heart in the middle of my face. So yeah, you see me taking that like deeper shade that I mixed up with Primary Red, Valentine, then Blackout, and I also ended up taking Valentine, which is like that pinkish shade, and I also took Carrot Top, which is the orange shade, just to like add more details. And then this white shade is lift again, and I don't know why I did this. I just was like, I need to add something to this, and this is what I came up with. But yeah, I honestly love the look. It took such a long time, but I am so grateful because I feel like I really just pushed myself to do this look. Like, this is one of the looks that I have been thinking about since like the beginning of Pride Month, and I was like, I have to do this. Like, I literally have to do this. And I took hours, like probably like 6 hours to do the entire look and like make all the content, take all the pictures and stuff. But it was so worth it because I'm just happy. Like, I exceeded my expectations for Pride, and I'm really excited to see how things go for Halloween and like the Christmas holiday season, because best believe I'm gonna be doing like crazy looks again. Like, this is not the end, baby. This is just the beginning. But thank y'all for watching this video. I'm gonna set my face again just to make sure that all this color fix, all this stuff is set. And I'm taking my V-Lux I Envy Black Lash Glue because I just like the Black Lash Glue. And then here's a little close-up again. And I'm just putting on my lashes. Like, when I put on my lashes, I put like a mirror like underneath my face. That way I can see if it's actually on my lash line, especially towards the outer part. It did not take me like 30 seconds to put on my lashes. It takes a good minute for me to put on my lashes. So if you're still struggling to put lashes on, you are not the only one. Like, I just edited the parts of me struggling out. But I added a little bit of lash glue underneath my eyes because I was taking these V-Lux like DIY lash extensions, and I just add them as like bottom clusters because I'm out of my regular bottom clusters from Plushy Lash, but I need to restock on that. And then here is a close-up look. She eats, she eats, she eats. I absolutely love this look. I hope y'all love it. If y'all have any ideas for looks y'all want me to do, please let me know. Tell me how you feel about this look. Like, how was Pride? But anyways, I love y'all so much. Bye.